Hello fellow YouTubers, truth seekers, and Mandela affected. I'm Darkwolf, and this is Darkwolf's Den. I'd love to thank everybody for showing up tonight, today, this morning, this evening, whatever it may be, wherever you may be. I really appreciate everybody coming. I apologize once again. I know I don't put out a lot of content anymore. It's mainly because I'm working 12 to 14 hours a day and just really ain't got a lot of time to research and make videos, and it takes a lot of work and effort to put it into these guys. It really does. So I promise I am still doing them. As you see, it won't be as often. Not through the summer. We will pick up as much as we can as the summer starts to dwindle down. So we aren't gone anywhere. I promise we are still an active channel. Alright guys, with that said, I really appreciate everybody once again stopping by to check us out. Today we're going to learn about something that, well, I ain't done a story on this channel about yet. I love mysteries. I love the paranormal. I've studied it since I was 12 years old. I love all of it. And one thing I do enjoy, that is one of my little secret pleasures, you know, is cryptids. Well, what is a cryptid? Well, it's from the study called cryptozoology. So what is that? Alright. It is a pseudoscience that aims to prove the existence of entities from folklore record, like, you know, Bigfoot or Chupacabra, as well as undetected animals otherwise considered extinct, such as dinosaurs. I know, crazy, right? We'll get into that. You guys ain't gonna believe this. Cryptozoologists refer to these entities as cryptids. Because it does not follow the scientific method, cryptozoology is considered a pseudoscience by the academic world. It is neither a branch of zoology nor folkloristics. I personally, until I did this study, did not know folkloristics was actually a word or a thing. Turns out it's the study of all kind of folklore. It's great. I'm getting off track though. So one famous cryptozoologist is named George M. Eberhard, and he classifies 10 types of mystery animals that fall under the cryptozoology umbrella. The first is distribution anomalies. You know, known animals reported outside their normal area, like the anomalous big cats of the UK. And apparently there's large panthers and black wildcats around the United Kingdom that aren't exactly native to the area. Next is undescribed, unusual, or outsized variations of known species. The giant anaconda reported from Amazonia, or the spotted lions of East Africa. Excuse me. These are two examples of creatures that do exist, but they're just an odd variation of their kind, or in this case, a very large variation of its kind. So this would be a cryptid. The third would be survival of recently extinct species, like, for instance, the ivory-billed woodpecker. It was presumed extinct circa 1960. You see this above my head here, kind of on my head here. The second is the Tasmanian tiger, the thylacine, declared extinct in 1936. And then you have the Steller sea cow, presumed extinct circa 1768. Just in case you didn't know, the sea cow is the one at the bottom. All of which occasionally claim to have survived to the present. So every now and then somebody will spot one of these creatures, and even though they say they've gone extinct, maybe they haven't. This would be an example of a cryptid. The fourth example, survivals of species known only from the fossil record in modern times, like the Mokele Mbembe of Central Africa, sometimes described as a living dinosaur. Guys, this thing is kind of like a brachiosaurus, I think they're called, with the really long necks, like the giraffes of their time. That's what the Mokele Mbembe in Africa is described to be. Number 5, lingerlings, survivals of species known from the fossil record much later in historical times than currently thought. For instance, the woolly mammoth, presumed to be extinct circa 12,000 BCE, occasionally purported to have survived in the later eras. And there's all kind of archaeological sites that have evidence of this. There could have very well been much later woolly mammoths than what we know of today. There's also a story, if you guys are interested, where they're trying to reclone a woolly mammoth with an elephant. If you guys are interested, take a look into that too, definitely. Alright, number 6 on the category of animals that would be in cryptozoology, or the 10 categories of animals. Number 6 is animals not known from the fossil record, but related to known species, like the Andean wolf at the bottom here, hanging out with my little wolf buddy, and the striped manta ray reported by William Beebe in the 1930s. Of course, the manta ray would be right here. Number 7 is animals not known from the fossil record, nor related to any known species, like North America's Bigfoot or pretty much most sea serpents. So things that we haven't even found a fossil for, but we have had sightings of. Bigfoot's the best one, of course. Then you have the number 8, mythical animals with a zoological basis like the griffin, which was partially inspired by dinosaur fossils of Central Asia. So the griffin is another one that's semi-zoological with a couple different aspects that we don't see normally. Sightings of these would be sightings of a cryptid creature. Number 9 would be seemingly paranormal or supernatural entities with some animal-like characteristics. For instance, the Mothman, the Black Dogs, vampires, or even some fairies of folklore. I always thought the fairies were amazing, and there's still, in some folklore areas, talks of these fairies being real. Like, people still today say they see fairies, believe it or not. I couldn't believe it either. Number 10, known hoaxes or probable misidentifications. The jackalope, an antlered rabbit, is a popular hoax in taxidermy. I remember when I was younger, there was a show called America's Funniest People, hosted by a guy named Dave Coulier. Not America's Funniest Home Videos, it was after that, America's Funniest People. He did the voice of this character called the jackalope. And the jackalope would always say, "Fast as fast can be, you'll never catch me." And he was always chasing the mailman. I loved it. I thought it was really hilarious. So, you know, when I ran across this, my jaw just dropped. Wow, really? That's actually in the category? But yes, misidentifications or just blatant hoaxes. Some cryptids actually are just hoaxes, and it's sad because it really messes up the actual study. And then there's 6 exclusions from being a cryptid. So they might fall under the first category, but then again, they might not fall under the second. The exclusions would be, number 1, insignificance. Cryptids must be big, weird, dangerous, or significant to humans in some way. Again, this is from George M. Eberhard and his classification. So this is his quote. They must be big, weird, and dangerous, or significant to humans in some way. So it has to be... Can't just be an ant, you know what I'm saying? It's got to be something huge, something, wow, what is that? As later on you'll see the list of cryptids that I've put together, exactly what I'm talking about. The second, went the wrong way, didn't I? Second, lack of controversy. Somebody needs to observe a mystery animal, and somebody else needs to discredit the sighting. Cryptozoologists function as the interventions between witnesses and skeptical scientists. And I like to try to function as that myself. I really admired that when I read this, so I had to put it in there. Again, I give all credit to George M. Eberhard, the cryptozoologist, who made this entire list. But I see myself as a person that tries to take science and what I've studied in the paranormal for many years and try to put them together and, you know, make heads and tails of it. Sometimes it works, sometimes more evidence is needed. Usually, more evidence is needed. All right, I'm getting off track again. I do that a lot, don't I? 6 exclusions from being a cryptid. Number 2 is it's got to be controversial. If it ain't controversial, it's not a cryptid. Number 3, erratics. The out-of-place alligator that turns up in an odd spot, undoubtedly through human agency, like somebody owning an alligator and just releasing it in a bad area, like the middle of the city, that's not a cryptid. Is not a zoological mystery. However, if someone discovers a new species of alligator that lives only in the sewers, that's a completely different matter. So the erratics of it, where they're located, things like that, have to be in play also. Number 4, bizarre humans like zombies. Need I say more? Number 5, angels or demons. The paranormal or supernatural is admitted only if it has an animal shape. A werewolf sighting, which might involve a real dog or wolf, or a mystery child, or canid. And number 6, aliens. Unless the extraterrestrials arrived such extraterrestrials arrived a long time ago, and thus they would classify as residents. So, aliens aren't cryptids, they're aliens. It's a completely different group, and that's a completely different video. I don't know if I've mentioned those in a lot of videos I've done. I don't think I've done one directly on aliens yet. We're going to have to do that sometime, aren't we? All right. So, next we're going to get into what are the actual cryptids. So now we know what a cryptid is, a strange creature, a zoological oddity. So what would a cryptid be? Well, we spoke of Mokele Mbembe earlier. Now we have the Mongolian deathworm. This thing is ugly, isn't it? Give you nightmares. We'll try not to spend a lot of time on this. It's so named for its ability to slay enemies by spewing acid. It is a bright red worm said to reside in most desolate parts of the Gobi Desert. Some Mongolians claim the worm, measuring 2 to 5 feet in length, can also kill by emitting lethal jolts of electricity, kind of like an eel. Westerners first learned of the terrifying creature in Roy Chapman Andrews' book On the Trail of American Man, 1926. Chapman... Sorry, I lost my place there. That's what happens when you write out your own scripts, right? Chapman, an American paleontologist, didn't believe the bizarre tales he heard from Mongolian officials, but claimed the men seemed convinced of the worm's existence despite never seeing it for themselves. Real or not, the death worm continues to fascinate the Western public. The beast even served as an inspiration for 1990's Tremors. Unfortunately, expeditions in 2005, 2006, and 2007, including one featured on Sci-Fi's Destination Truth, turned up no proof at all of the actual creature. I do remember the movie Tremors, and I loved that movie, but God, are those things creepy. Alright, next we have the Orang Pendek. The Orang Pendek is a bipedal primate said to inhabit remote forest on the island of Sumatra. Eyewitnesses describe the cryptid as a ground-dwelling animal covered in short fur and standing between 2.5 and 5 feet tall. Unlike other cryptids, the Orang Pendek has no shortage of eyewitnesses. Hundreds of people claim to have seen the beast, including nomadic forest dwellers, Indonesian villagers, 20th century Dutch colonists, and modern-day explorers. So this is even seen today in places. British researcher Debbie Martyr spent 15 years researching the Orang Pendek and describes the animal as astonishingly powerful. She says, "It is the sheer physical power of the Orang Pendek that most impress the Kerinci villagers." End quote. She wrote this in a 1993 article for BBC Wildlife. They speak in awe, she says, of its broad shoulders, huge chest and upper abdomen, and powerful arms. The animal is so strong, the villagers would whisper that it can uproot small trees on its own. End quote. In 2005, National Geographic funded a project to get a photographic proof of the beast, but axed the effort after 4 years and no results. However, even though National Geographic didn't get any results, let's keep in mind there have been a slew of other people that did. The next is Inkanyamba. Inkanyamba, legend has it, South Africa's Howick Falls is home to a monstrous serpent with a horse-like head and a volatile nature. Known as Inkanyamba, the frightening beast reportedly grows to lengths of 20 feet or more. Cave paintings in the area indicate the tribes of the KwaZulu-Natal province feared the Inkanyamba for generations and even believed it could influence the weather. Researchers suggest, get a little ahead of myself there, the legendary serpent might actually be a known species of eel, which we mentioned the eel earlier, how interesting. But locals insist that it is something completely different. In 1996, a local paper offered a handsome reward to anyone who could provide a photo of the legendary beast. 2 photos emerged, though many dismissed them as fakes. Animal X did a feature also on Inkanyamba, but found no trace of the creature. Inkanyamba, excuse me. Alright, next we have the Thunderbirds. With wings that stretch between 8 and 11 feet. The wandering albatross holds the record for the largest wingspan. However, rumor has it much larger birds soar over America. In 2002, residents of Togiak and Monocatok, Alaska, reported seeing a massive bird that looked like, quote, something from Jurassic Park, end quote. Wow. One man mistook the bird for a small plane. estimating its wingspan to be about 14 feet. Tales of the massive bird near San Antonio have frightened residents for generations, with the most recent sightings occurring in 2007. In 1977, a giant bird in Lawndale, Illinois, was reported to make off with a 10-year-old boy. The crew of Monster Quest investigated Thunderbird claims in 2009, but found no evidence of monstrous birds of prey. However, a Thunderbird is a legendary creature of Native American folklore, named after the sound caused by the animal's massive flapping wings. Cryptozoologists have theorized that the large birds spotted across the U.S. could be pterosaurs or pteratons, species long thought to be extinct. We also know them as pterodactyls. These are very, very ancient legend of the Native American Indians all across the country, all the different tribes, not just one. So I really put a lot of weight into these being existent myself. Alright, next we have the Emela Ntouka. It's like they mess with me on these names, don't they? Okay, the Emela Ntouka, or killer of elephants, is a semi-aquatic creature said to resemble a rhinoceros and live in the shallow waters of the Congo River Basin. Some cryptozoologists and another Congo cryptid, theorize the beast may be a modern-day triceratops, while others wonder if the Emela Ntouka is another Congo cryptid, the Mokele Mbembe, and are one and the same. Personally, I think they're two different ones. This looks very short and very rhinoceros-like, and it even said it itself, triceratops-like. I think this is completely different for the Mokele Mbembe. However, I do find interesting that both of them are in the Congo. One of the very few places that man hasn't completely been able to touch yet. According to native reports, the Emela Ntouka is an elephant-sized beast with smooth skin, floppy ears, and a squat body, which, by the way, doesn't sound anything like a Mokele Mbembe. A single horn protrudes from the creature's snout, which it uses to gore elephants with a single thrust. Tales of Emela Ntouka first reached the West in 1933 thanks to J.E. Hughes' 18 years on Lake Bangawulu, and I don't have the year for that. Hughes reported that the Waushi tribesmen slaughtered a beast meeting the cryptid's description. Decades later, Dr. Roy P. McCall collected eyewitness accounts of the Emela Ntouka and other cryptids, which he published in 1987's A Living Dinosaur. Okay, so if I covered cryptids and I didn't cover this next one, I would have a lot of my Floridian fans very upset with me. Don't worry, guys, I got you. The Skunk Ape. This is, most Americans know Bigfoot sightings from the Pacific Northwest. Well, this is the Bigfoot of Florida, ladies and gentlemen. It has its own version called the Skunk Ape. Other names for the foul-smelling creature include swamp ape and Mayaka ape. I'm assuming, I do not know, but I'm assuming in a second it's probably a Native American term. Again, it's assumption, I'm not saying that's what it is. According to eyewitness accounts, the skunk beast is an ape-like creature which runs on 2 feet and smells like a rotten egg. The beast reportedly dwells in Florida's isolated swamp regions, though tales have also emerged from North Carolina. Reports of the cryptid were most common in the 1960s and the 1970s. The United States Park Service claims the skunk ape is nothing more than a myth, but sightings still persist. So even though they're saying it don't exist, doesn't stop people from seeing it. Isn't that a great way to deal with it? Oh, guys, don't worry, it don't exist. You can't see it. We're looking at it, and it don't exist. Love it. Anyway, in 2000, an anonymous woman snapped 2 photos of an ape, mailed them to the Sarasota County Sheriff's Department. She thought it was an escaped orangutan, though cryptozoologists believe it was the skunk ape. Several skunk ape videos and photos have surfaced in the 13 years since, with most recent being a grainy video shot in Sarasota County's Mayaka River State Park on March 2nd, 2013. Alright, next we have Trunko. Don't worry, I only did 10 of these guys. I won't bore you much longer. I promise. If you're still sticking around, you really, really rock. You guys are true Rockinats and true parts of the Wolfpack, guys. I appreciate it. Alright, Trunko on October 25th, 1924. By the way, I've got a surprise coming up at the end of the video. Stick it around, check it out. Residents of Margate, South Africa saw 2 killer whales battling it out with another unknown beast. One witness said the creature looked like a giant polar bear, while others claimed it had white fur and an elephant-like trunk, thus inspiring the nickname Trunko. According to eyewitness reports, Trunko gave the killer whales a good fight and could even leap 20 or more feet into the air. However, the unidentified animal eventually succumbed to the attack, and his corpse washed ashore 10 days later. For decades, researchers assumed witnesses had never photographed Trunko's remains. However, cryptozoologist Marcus Himmler discovered a photo of the beast in 2010, and three more photos eventually turned up from other cryptozoologists. After reviewing the images, renowned cryptozoologist Carl Schuker determined Trunko was nothing more than badly damaged carcass of a known whale, and the connective tissue fibers had given the illusion of fur. As for the fight witness reported, Schuker claimed the killer whales had likely tossed the carcass in the air, and the witness just misinterpreted what they saw. This is a logical conclusion, and I wasn't there, so I can't tell you what happened either way. So, take this story for what you will. This is a reported cryptid. This is the first time I'd ever heard of this, but the fact that it is reported, hey, why not put it out there for everybody else? Who knows, maybe other people have seen it. Alright, I've got another buddy who's obsessed with the creatures in the sky. Now wait, don't think Darkwolf's lost it and his buddy don't know what he's talking about. Because when I ran across this, even I had to drop my jaw. Atmospheric beasts. The idea of unknown creatures living deep within the ocean is nothing new. But could undiscovered species also live miles above the Earth? The hypothetical atmospheric beast is a balloon-like wingless creature that uses lighter than air gases to move about the atmosphere. Such creatures could presumably live above other planets as well. Carl Sagan suggested such creatures might live in Jupiter's atmosphere. I remember that, actually. I used to watch his stuff a lot, over and over. And I don't watch much stuff over and over, I promise you. While several science fiction authors have envisioned beasts from above, however, there have also been eyewitness accounts. Reports describe odd sea-like creatures moving about the sky, creatures resembling octopuses, jellyfish, and even serpents. In 1961, scientific journalist Bruno Gabad snapped a photo of a bizarre flying machine soaring above the ocean. The machine resembles a manta ray. Photographer Michael White captured something resembling a flying dolphin or whale over New Zealand. In 1999, a dentist in Italy photographed an object with tentacles zooming high above the earth. The dentist and other witnesses said the object made no noise and moved faster than any conventional aircraft they'd heard of. Photos of sky serpents, rods, and skyfish could also fall under the atmospheric beasts banner. In fact, some cryptozoologists wonder if UFO sightings might actually be sightings of undiscovered creatures from above rather than alien spacecraft. Now there's an interesting thought, isn't it? What if it's just other creatures up there that we're not seeing? Wow. Alright, the next one is really personal to me. That is the Chupacabra. So the Chupacabra, or goat sucker, from chupar to suck and cabra, goat, is a legendary creature in the folklore in parts of the Americas, and with its first reported sighting being in Puerto Rico, which I adore. The name comes from the animal's reported habit of attacking and drinking the blood of livestock, especially goats. Physical descriptions of the creatures vary, and I have one myself. It is purportedly a heavy creature the size of a small bear, with a row of spines from the neck to the base of the tail. Maybe, but I don't believe so. Eyewitness sightings have claimed as early as 1995 in Puerto Rico, and have since been reported as far north as Maine and as far south as Chile, and even being spotted outside the Americas in countries like Russia and the Philippines. But many of the reports have been disregarded or uncorroborated or lacking evidence. Sightings in North Mexico and the southern United States have been verified as canids afflicted by mange. According to biologists and wildlife management officials, the Chupacabra is an urban legend. I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, the Chupacabra is not an urban legend. And I will tell you why, and that's because I've seen it. Yes, I make this claim, hand to God, or whatever you believe in, I have seen a Chupacabra myself. You can put this anywhere on YouTube. You can question it all you'd like. I don't care. It was about 1992 or 93. I had a neighbor who had a lot of animals, geese, chickens, a dog, yes, ducks, just all kind of wildlife like that. They had a pond, and one day the dog broke its chain and got off. Well, this dog only did this when something was wrong. There were people outside all day long. They didn't hear a sound. However, when my neighbor got home, most of the animals had been killed and were laying on the ground. But there were a couple oddities in this. Number one, there wasn't a drop of blood to be found anywhere. Neither a strown feather where there was some kind of crazy attack. It was almost perfect. But every drop of blood was gone. There were slits at the neck of one of the creatures that lived, and that could just been dirt spot along the neck, I don't know. But there was a mark on its neck. There was a paw print, and this is what got me. The paw print only had 3 claws. A 3-claw pad is not of a known common creature, at least not in my area. I know because for years I would look at different tracking books and try to find the match to what I'd seen with my own 2 eyes. Years later, I was watching a show called Paranormal Borderline with Will Frakes, who played Will Riker on Star Trek Next Generation. Jonathan Frakes, I'm sorry, who played Will Riker. Anyway, this show was called Paranormal Borderline and spoke of this creature called the Chupacabra. And when it did, I almost lost my mind because it's the exact same experience I'd had 3 years prior. 2 to 3 years. Also, I seen a very small, low to the ground, black creature with no tail and red eyes. It did not have spikes. It had black laid-back fur. Now, that could have raised into spikes like a porcupine. I don't know. But I seen this creature twice. And I had my sister and my father with me also when we seen it. My father, an avid hunter, knows his animals and could not spot what this creature was either. It was at the same time of the killings. The only 2 things that both properties had in common was a pond or a water source. So I really truly believe I seen a Chupacabra, at least the evidence of a Chupacabra, even if the creature that I saw was not. However, it was in our area. I live in Tennessee in the United States. It isn't a long way from Mexico, but it really isn't a long way from the ocean areas. So I really do believe this creature does exist without question. It is considered an urban legend, but it's an urban legend that's kind of real in my book. I've seen evidence of it. And I lay my hand to the Bible or any source you would like me to. I stand on everything I am with that. Alright, moving along. Number 10, the Dobarchu. This is the last one, I promise. The Dobarchu is a giant carnivorous river monster that lives in Ireland. It is said that the Dobarchu is a mix between a beaver and a dog. Yeah, weird, huh? Many people have said that maybe this creature is a primitive beaver. However, the most consistent ancient description is of a great otter. There is, interestingly, an archaeological remain called Kinlow Stone that is the gravestone of a woman who was killed by a Dobarchu in the 17th century. Her name was Graine, Grainne. There you go, guys. Dobarchu is reported to have lived for a long time, since ancient Ireland, and they're very aggressive to humans and dogs. They usually attack in groups, or maybe 2. They are aggressive to humans, or maybe 2 Dobarchus, so one will attack first, then, if it becomes tired, the friends may come to help. Then they will drag their victim into water, but if the enemy runs away, they will follow it until it is caught. But modern day Dobarchu are very rare or maybe extinct. It is reported and can be found in the Akil Island west of County Mayo. In this island there is a lake named Srishan's Log. Dobarchu is said to live there for now. The island there is the first modern sighting noted in a description of West Connaught by Roderick O'Flaherty, if that isn't an Irish name. Another story in 2003 by Ireland artist Sean Corcoran and his wife on a Dobarchu in Omi Island, Connemara. They reportedly saw a giant creature with dark colorings and membranes on the feet to swim. I'm sorry, guys. I'm jacking this all up right now. Another piece of proof is the Glenade stone found in Cornwall graveyard, where a Dobarchu figure painted above the grave. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the top 10 list of cryptids and explanations of what a cryptid is and what a cryptozoologist is. This is long overdue for my channels. This will be in the mystery series. I really appreciate you guys sticking by. I know I'm rehashing or repeating a lot of information, but some of these I had never heard of before, so I'm sure you guys haven't either. So, like I said earlier, I have a small surprise for you guys before I go. Our subscriber count has been jumping up and down and up and down, and I know it's because I haven't made a video. I really do, guys, and I apologize for that. But I really want to give something back to my subscribers. I love giving back to people who have helped me along the way. So it is time for another contest. Before we get to that, I must give thanks. I forgot about this completely. I must give thanks to the Cryptid Wiki for all their information. That's where I got all the information to make this video. You guys check it out. I'll put a link in the description in the subscription. I am tired, guys. I'll put a link in the description box. It's a great site. It's got all kind of wonderful things. All kind of great information. It's even got a featured article just like the regular wiki. This month's article happens to be the Mothman. Check that out. I swear, guys, I did not know this when I made the video. So check out this site, guys. It's a great site. It's where I got all the information here. It is a fandom page, so it's updated by the fans, but even better reason. I hope you guys enjoy it. I enjoyed it. I don't know what else to say. Thank you guys for letting me use your information. All right. So, like I said, guys, I appreciate everyone. And we do have a special surprise announcement. We have a new contest. We have hit 200 subscribers and stayed there for more than a day. It's great. I swear, guys, I've been watching this thing. It's going up and down. 200, 199, 201, 198. It's bouncing back and forth. So we're setting at 200 now. I think we've leveled out. So it's time for a celebration, everybody. Here's the contest rules. Last time, everybody came to me and said, well, not everybody, a lot of people came to me and said, Darkwolf, we love that you're doing this, but we're not artistic. The last one was for the contest art. They said, Darkwolf, we love it, but we can't enter. We're not artistic. I promise, guys, I'm not artistic either. Why do you think I had to run a contest to get it to begin with? But that said, we have some new rules for the contest, guys. Check it out. Number 1, you must be a subscriber to this channel. It's not much to ask. If you like what we're doing, I hope you like what we're doing. Please hit that subscribe button so you can make sure to keep up with us. Hit the like button and ring the bell next to the subscribe button if you want to get updates every time I drop a video, which here recently has not been often, so you really might want to hit that bell. I don't want you guys to miss it when I am able to make one. Like I said, be a subscriber. I can go back through all my subscribers. So, yes, I do know who are subscribers to my channel, all 200 of you. So glad you're here. I really, really appreciate it. And I appreciate it so much that the next one is just leave a comment under the video. If you want to be entered into this contest, leave a comment. I don't care if you tell me how your day was. Let me know of any cryptids I didn't cover. I know there are hundreds of cryptids I didn't cover. I could only hit 10. Believe me, I went through a pile of them when I was researching this. Let me know what else you'd like to see me do on the channel. Anything. Just leave me a wonderful comment below, guys. And that enters you into the contest. It's just that simple. Just that simple. It's that simple. Oh yeah, one more rule. There's a little bit more to it. Check this out, guys. Be kind to each other. Is that not easy? Sometimes it ain't easy. There are people that make it really, really hard to do this. I know. I work in a public facility. So be kind to each other. Please, guys, I beg of you, be kind to each other. That's the rules. You want to enter the contest? There you go. Well, what's the prize? Well, Cliff High has not updated the Alta report lately, in the last 2 months, as a matter of fact. I'm a little worried about him. He's had a wrist surgery, so maybe that's the reason. But hopefully he gets that updated soon. Here's the deal. It'll either be the new Alta report. You can hold off till he drops a new one. It'll be your choice. Or it can be a past Alta report that you haven't been able to read yet. These are predictions through 2048. So it's not old information. Some of it hasn't happened. A lot of it hasn't happened yet. You guys go check it out, please. If you want to buy one yourself, they're $15. This is a $15 valued prize that I pay for myself out of pocket. I have no problem doing that for you guys. That's how much I appreciate my fans. I'm willing to pay out of pocket for stuff for you guys. That's not a problem. I'll pay out of pocket for a copy for anyone who wins the contest. And how are we going to know who won? Well, when you leave a comment, I'm going to put your name into the tinfoil hat. And then we're going to shake it up. And I'm going to have somebody give me a number. And I'm going to pull that many out. And when I get to the last one, that number, that's the winner. So it ain't going to be the first draw. Oh, no, I never liked it when somebody did that. That's not fair. Whoever's on top wins. No. We're going to dig down. We're going to get a number. And however many entries, we're going to go through whatever number we get. Like, say, we have 30 entries. I ask for somebody, give me a number, and they say 17. We're going to go down to 17. And what the 17th one I draw is, that's the winner. So this is completely random chance, guys. I don't want anybody to think it isn't. We're doing this as randomly as random gets, I promise. So that's the rules. I hope everybody has enjoyed it, has enjoyed this video, I hope everybody enters. I look forward to doing this. I look forward to giving these things away. I really do. I know. He looks forward to spending money? Yes, yes I do. I look forward to giving back to you guys. You guys have got me to where we're at so far. You're the only reason I make videos. If not for you, I couldn't do this. Uni couldn't do this. None of us could do this. I'm not off the show, by the way, guys. I am still doing the UniRock show. I'm not able to recently. Like I said before, I'm working crazy buku hours, sometimes even weekends. But I am getting with him off camera, off air. We are talking, I promise. I am coming back on the show. I've not abandoned it. By the way, check out the other stuff we do here. We got the Rockinati show. We got the Unsealable Door of India. We've got the Mandela Effect Theory series. We've got all kind of stuff, guys. Check them out. We really, really, really appreciate everybody. Again, I hope everybody's enjoyed this. And, oh no, guys, they're closing the door. I gotta hurry up. Bye, guys. Y'all have a great day. Bye.